Sir, let me say, person, so they go something before why silence?
It's not okay. It's still not about this. I'm sorry. You have no document. Where is the document?
I have documents and everything.
You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to act in this impunity. Where is approval even to keep? You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. I can damn at his level. He really has a problem. He cannot reach me for me to, I'm sorry. See what I have. He will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying guns to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not God, she was first half. Who spoke to me now? You could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate.
On the contrary,
we are
not intimidating anybody.
That's what you're doing.
The civilian and the engineer mobilized the site, and then the staff or workers of FCTA look at it
No, listen now.
raising them. And that was when the admiral gave the order.
He cannot give order against government.
Because papers are complete and he said submitted them.
You know the police one. I need the one that will say paper. Which will show me that you are good. First of all, show me that government gave you this paper. Show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It has nothing to do with I'm a vice admiral. I'm a lieutenant general. That is nothing. We must work according to law. We must work according to law.
No, I'm a small boy, but the commission of money very good.
I can damn at his level. Even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me. I'm sorry. See what I have. He will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying guns to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not going to achieve for the first half, who spoke to me now?
Yes.
You could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate. I'm doing my job.
We just witnessed a very heated argument between you and can you take us back to when this started and what this is all about?
Well, it's unfortunate. And these are the kind of things that we are aware that the land aspects and the economic control have been mandated to see where the illegal group are going on and land grabbing. And when this was brought to my attention, I did instruct them to make sure that nothing takes place in as much as they don't have any legal papers in terms of legal approval or even the acquisition of the land. And when they came here, I was informed that the soldiers of the military had to chase them away. And I thought probably they will be acting illegal. And so today when I was in the office, when they came to implement the directive that was given to them by myself, I was called out the military had taken over the place. And I had to come by myself to see things for myself. It's not unfortunate. And you heard what the officer said was said by the former chief of naval staff. And I don't understand how somebody who attained that position and see that he has a problem cannot approach my office to say, look, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. But simply because he's a military man, he could use that to intimidate Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons that will succumb to blackmail or intimidation. And you can imagine where you cannot even prove where the documents. And the director of the control is there. I was here. I said, bring the documents. You don't have the documents. Bring the approval for building. You don't have it. And how can we continue to allow lawlessness to prevail in this country? What about those who don't have the military? What about those who don't have security? If there's down to a level where when government officials are carrying out their job, you go and bring security to intimidate them against government officials. I will not accept that. I've spoken to the chief of defense staff, and I've spoken to the chief of naval staff, and they have assured me that, please, they have to resolve the matter. We're not coming here to have a shooter with anybody to cause chaos or not. But what I can say, I will not allow it to happen. The way we have done and carried our jobs in other areas, in the same way it will be done here. He will not carry out this illegal recruitment and lack life simply because he will inform my chief of naval staff. I will not allow that. And that is really well.
According to multiple reports, Minister Wike visited the site in the Gaduwa District of the FCT where soldiers reportedly prevented FCT officials from accessing the land. Wike says the land in question had no valid documentation on record with the FCT Administration FCTA showing it had been lawfully allocated. The military personnel on site claimed they were acting on directives from a former Chief of Naval Staff, allegedly occupying the land subject to those instructions. Wike emphasized that no one, including a former military boss, is above the law when it comes to land regulation, and that intimidation with guns to frighten Nigerians would not stand. The episode has drawn attention to broader issues of land management, allocation, encroachment, and the interplay between civil land administration agencies and the security military apparatus in Nigeria, build areas of concern and complexity. Even if Wike's assertion that the FCTA has no record of lawful allocation is correct, the military side claims to act under instructions from a former senior officer. This raises questions about 1. Whether those instructions were lawful or properly documented. 2. How one resolves competing claims when civil regulatory authorities and security military actors overlap. The use of armed personnel and threats of force in a land dispute context is particularly troubling because it blurs the line between civil governance and military intervention, which should ordinarily be separate. For the land administration system, this incident highlights systemic weaknesses, unclear allocations, overlapping claims, the potential for intimidation, and the challenge of enforcing the rule of law impartially. From a governance and public trust perspective, when powerful actors, civil or military, appear to operate outside transparent procedures, the risk is erosion of public confidence and a sense of impunity. This incident is more than just a land dispute. It symbolizes a power struggle between civilian oversight and military or ex-military influence in Nigeria's capital territory. Wike's strong public condemnation suggests an attempt to reinforce civilian supremacy in land governance. If the FCTA follows through with the promise that no one is above the law, this could set a precedent for addressing other such conflicts across the FCT and beyond. That said, resolution will require more than public words. It will demand a clear, transparent investigation of the claim, publication of the documents, or lack thereof, and enforcement of outcomes. Otherwise, the moment risks being seen as rhetoric. For citizens and property owners in Abuja, and Nigeria generally, this underscores the importance of ensuring any land you buy or develop has full, documented legitimacy and that the relevant regulatory bodies recognize and enforce it. For the military and the civil service alike, the message is that operational directives don't override legal land allocation procedures without due process. The legitimacy of land claims must be anchored in law, not in force. What to look for next? Will the FCTA publish the findings of its review into the land allocation in question? Are there documents on both sides, military side and FCTA side? Will the military or ex-military actor who sits behind the instruction be held to account? If it turns out the occupation was unlawful, how will this incident influence future land allocation practices in the FCT? Will reforms or stronger oversight mechanisms be introduced? Will the public be given assurance that this is not just a one-off and that civilian regulatory agencies will retain their authority over land issues, including vis-a-vis powerful security actors? In summary, while the situation is still evolving, this confrontation between Wike and military personnel over land highlights serious governance challenges, but also an opportunity. If handled transparently, it could mark a step towards stronger enforcement of land law in Nigeria's capital territory. Conversely, failure to resolve it fairly could deepen perceptions of unequal power and selective application of the law.